Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at GeoVax Labs, ticker symbol GOVX. We're going to be looking at specific buy zones, sell zones, what to do if you already own the stock, where to sell it if you haven't already, is an area to be potentially looking into buy. So let's get straight into it. Again, everything I say is not financial advice. Do not take it as financial advice. It's my opinions only, and you can make your own decisions yourself. I'm just here to give you some information and my opinions. GeoVax Labs, it's got a lot of attention, obviously, to do with the mpox outbreak. If you wait until the end of the video or in the comments, Martyn has done a full analysis on the fundamentals, so you can see it from that point of view as well. Please do watch that video. But if you've come from that video, or if this is the first one you're watching, we're going to be looking at the specific charts, the buy zones, the sell zones, and where to potentially gain entry points to the stock. As you can see, on Friday we had a candle which sort of initiated a mini short squeeze. There was people that were liquidating on their positions, there was a sudden rise up, and we are sitting on $7.06 on Friday's close. We were up 110.75% on Friday, and we're wondering if this stock will continue to run. So let's do a chart analysis. Let's start off by finding our supports and resistances, and by the end of the video you'll know my thoughts. Once we do a full analysis, I will show you exactly how I do my analysis and my charting. So firstly, we have a horizontal point on the all-time lows, which was just above $8. Then we have our next support / resistance. It was support previously turned into resistance, and now it will be support. So that could be our potential next buy area, $4.50. We then have the level we closed on Friday was previous support, so that is an important level as well. We do also have this area here where we bounced off in 2022, and once we bounced off that level, it held as support, and the gains were very extreme, about over 150% gains from that area of support. So that's why it's important, and that's why I'm adding it to my chart. And then we've got higher areas where potential sell zones of $50. Again, we've got higher at $64. And that's about it. There's not much going on between $7 and $50, which a lot of people like to hear. If it comes down in a straight line, it can also go back up in a straight line. There's not much liquidity there. So now we've got our levels, and those are all our horizontal resistance points from the resistance and support points from the past. Let's see if there's any specific trends. I can see sort of a trend to the downside with lower highs that we've actually broken out of, which is good to see. So that's our major trend line to the downside. Do we have a trend line to the upside? Not really. We can join these two higher lows potentially, but that's nothing to be concerned about at this moment in time. And let's do one more zoom out and see if there's any other potential zones. No. Now let's look at our Fibonacci points. I'm getting all the data ready so I can make my full analysis, so do bear with me. This is important to show you how I come to my conclusion. I'm not like the other YouTubers who just pretend and make up things. I'll show you exactly why I'm making these decisions. Now we're looking at 2 points to get our Fibonacci levels. One obvious one would be from this high recently in June of 2024 to the bottom of $1.60. We've already hit our first level. As you can see, it coincides very nicely to our other trend line, which is why this was an area of resistance, and this is why the stock failed to close above it, because this is a major point of resistance. So that's something we're going to be looking out for. So let's highlight that as well with a rectangle. So that is the 1.618 Fibonacci, and the next point would be sort of trying to target maybe between $14 and $15. That could be a potential target of this week if the rally continues. So we've got our Fibonacci points. Is there any other Fibonacci points we might want to consider? You can take one from that high to this low. That's the same. The 786 is about there as well, and the 618, so that rectangle can be extended as a potential area as well. You see some resistance levels are being more evidence is being shown why specific areas can be targeted, so that has consolidated more. Just looking to see if there's any other final Fibonacci points. We can take one from the highs of 2022. That would have been after COVID. Okay, yes, the tooth that consolidates that area again. So that $16 level is definitely a point of resistance for the future. Okay, so we've got all our levels now. Now let's look at where we are now. We are currently sat at $7. As I've just mentioned, it's a very strong resistance level, the $7 area. So that's what we need to keep an eye on. What we want to see on this coming week is breaking the level we are at basically currently. As you can see in the after hours, we are actually breaking this level. So this is a very good sign. On Monday, as long as we're above $7, what we're trying to see, I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for. I'll go back to the daily time frame. Every candle represents a day. What we're trying to look for now is continuation. Yes, the RSI is overbought, very overbought, and the most overbought it's been since 2022. Let's wait for a second.
Bart Poludniak donated €5 through a super chat. Thank you for covering the Rocket Labs RKLB. Also, if we get some time, I would be grateful if you share your thoughts on the NVX. PLS?
Thank you, Bart. This is made during a live video. You can join me every Sunday while we do these analysis live, and you can give your request, and Bart has given me a request which we'll be doing later on. Thank you, Bart. So yes, the RSI is overbought, the most overbought it's been since this massive run we saw earlier in 2022. So that is a point of concern, but again, RSIs can be overbought for a long while, especially if it's news driven, and it does show the momentum to the upside. However, we do have to take that into consideration. It's going to be overbought at some point in the future. That will no longer be overbought, and the stock will fall and maybe continue to rise. So we need to take that into account, but it's not too concerning. If it's news driven, it just shows the momentum's on your side. The MACD, which also shows the momentum of buyers and traders, is green and it's accelerating upwards, so that is a good sign on that front as well. Going back to the specific resistance level we're at, which is $7.06, what I want to see going forward, and hopefully this week, if the RSI wants to continue to be overbought, we need to see this happen quite quickly before we see a slowing down in price and the RSI cooling off, which it will do eventually. However, as I've said, it can stay overbought for a while as long as the momentum continues to the upside. And what I'd like to see this week, if I bring my drawing tool out for you, would be a few daily candles this week above $8. We need to breach $8. Once we breach $8, we can come back for a support. The RSI will cool off when we come back for the buy level where we are around now, $7. And then potentially very quickly, we'll be heading up to our next serious resistance level between $14 and $16. So there is what we need to see is break $7, break $8, maybe come back for a retest, giving us another entry at this level here. We just need to breach this major resistance we're at right now between $7 and $8. As soon as we go past $7 and $8, we are looking to target between $12 and $16. So limit orders to be set up for myself, again not financial advice, at $13 is my first limit order to sell, and my second limit order to sell is at $16. I might not sell it all, I will sell a big majority, and my next target would be $20. Now let's say I'm not in the stock, what would I do? I would wait until we see some more data on the charts. I would wait to see us breach $8. If we breach $8, as I mentioned, we're probably going to have a retest quite quickly of that $8 mark. We breach $8, we'll probably go to $9, come back to $8. That will give me confirmation we've broken out of this resistance, and then I'll be more confident to buy. I'll explain why. If I buy right now, we're at resistance. This can suddenly drop back down to $5, and that's my next buy level. $4.5, $4.50 around $5. That's my next buy point. If the RSI is overbought and the momentum is lost, then $5 is the next entry zone. So I'd rather buy at $5 than $7.50. However, I might not get the chance to buy it at $5. So how would I trade it? I would have to wait for this resistance point between $7 and $8 to be breached. And once it is breached, it will, most of the time, if it's a confident trade, it will come back down. Maybe it will go to $10, maybe it will go to $9. I won't chase it. It will probably come back down for a retest of this level, and more traders and more buyers will be more confident to buy it at $8. So some people tell me, well, it's at $8 now. Why would I not buy now? Well, because it can go straight back down to $4.50, and I'd rather buy it there. However, if it breaches $8, it's more likely to go to the next levels, and I don't want to miss out on $8 going to $16 potentially 2x my money in a week. So this can 2x in a week. And the trade I will take, I'll show you now, would be a long position at around either between $7 and $8, either $7 or $8, and I'll be targeting $13. So it would look something like this. I'd wait for it to breach $8, come back down to $7.50 or $8, and then take the trade to $13 or $16. What would I do if I'm already holding? Well, we're at resistance. I might sell some in case it comes back to 450, or I might sell some to get more confirmation that we're going higher. But potentially most of my holdings I'll be holding until $13 and $16, my next take profit zone. And then once I take profits there, my limit orders for sales go through. I would hold the rest of my shares to $20, and potentially, if this continues, it's moved to the upside, $50 and $64. I would leave some in as my, let's call it a moon bag. I'd already have sold most of my shares, but I'd like to keep some in case it goes to $50 and $64. I'll pretty much be out of the stock by $64, but let's take it step by step. My limit orders are set up to sell between $12.50, $16 and $20, and my next buy zones would be either the level we're at now once we get confirmation, as I've explained earlier on in this video. And if we don't get the confirmation this week and we sell off and the RSI resets, I'll be looking to buy at $4 and $4.50. So it's looking good. Momentum's on our side. Please do hit the like button if you haven't already. Leave me your thoughts down below. Are you bullish on this stock? Do you have any more information about this stock? Make sure to watch the video Martyn's put out about its technicals. They look good as well, but you need to watch that video as well to make a full informed decision. Do your own research. Again, we're not here to give financial advice. We're here to give our own opinions and give you the news. But thank you very much for watching. Martyn's video will be here. He's the owner of the channel. He does the fundamental analysis. That'll be over there. And then anything else that Martyn would suggest will be down there. So make sure you watch those two videos. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.